Welcome to another in the series, The Sip and the Chat. Welcome to another in the series, Sip and a Chat. I'm your host, LELEITH Tomlinson. Well, believe it or not, we have made it to the first 6 months of the year and we are transitioning to the other 6 months. And so we're now in the month of July, believe it or not, it is here. So seasons are changing and how appropriate that is. And a nice little segue to our topic for this month of July, seasons. Well, I have with me my illustrious and learned guest, Dr. Karen. And I'm so glad that she's here with me today because we're going to be talking about seasons and understanding just what exactly is seasons, what does season represent, and how, more importantly, do we pivot in seasons. And I want to also say congratulations. You also had your harvest, your church harvest. Tell us a little bit about that and welcome back.
It was, bless you too, nice having me here today. It's always been a privilege to just sit and chat and to make the audience aware of what's going on and stuff like that, share with the audience. Our harvest was great. Actually, we set up bananas, pumpkins, and stuff still on sale.
Okay.
The people bring in the stuff and we just sell up. We have two services, one in the morning and one in the evening with other churches coming in. And they bought back from us. So it's like the harvest entails at the time of season. We celebrate because sometimes we have famine. As I said, season, we have famine time for when the earth being replenished and stuff like that. And I was sharing with the congregation on Sunday that after the hurricane we had last year, it's surprising that I use a banana as part of my evidence to say that last year before the hurricane, the banana was very small. And if you should look on the ground product that is coming in the crop, they are large crops.
Yeah, I saw some really large bananas with some very large prices.
So, the harvest was great. Thanks for those who supported church, who supported us. And we still have stuff selling, and we give away package and stuff to persons who come along the line. So it was great.
Thank you so very much. And as you know, I too had my own launch seasons this weekend. And I want to say thanks to everyone who made seasons such a success. We will definitely talk a lot more about that. And the launch of LVT, Learning, Visioning, and Transforming.
Congratulations.
Thank you so very much. It is such a turning point in how God is pivoting us in this season to understand that there's more and we have to sap out and make sure we get the best from what it is that we're doing. So today we're talking about seasons. And I want to start with this. The seasons of life represents the natural evolving phases of our personal journey, from spring's potential to winter's rest. Recognizing which phase you're in, your current experiencing helps you align your energy with your circumstances, whether you're building foundations or reaping rewards. So between building foundations and reaping rewards, there is a time span. And so we want to start off today by just looking at the 4 seasons that we have natural. So in the natural, we have spring, summer,
autumn, winter. And we are now in spring.
And we're now in spring. I think we're in summer now. Yeah, we're in the summer phase.
Yes, going into the summer now.
Yeah, we're going deep into summer now because spring was early around January when we had like the spring semesters at schools and stuff like that. So now we're in the summer of it all and going deeper into summer. Now, I want to say this, that first of all, one of the things that is very important is to understand which season you are in.
And so with that, let me start by saying to my listeners and watchers, Ecclesiastic chapter 3 illustrate about everything. There's a season and there's a time. So let me start there first. A purpose under the heaven. When I read the scripture, I was saying that is not God talking to us here on earth about our season? Because from the beginning of time, it was already established. But now he's just saying to us here on earth, under the earth, that there's a time, as you mentioned, spring, summer, autumn, winter. And so we are now experiencing our season here on earth in different aspects of it. And he said also a time to born, a time to laugh, a time to weep, a time to mourn. And if you look at it with our humanity part of it, then each one of these illustrations come in our lives somewhere along the line. A birth of a child, a season.
So if we're looking at it, then we could say, if we're trying to categorize it, then so first of all, everybody likes spring.
Yes.
Right? Because spring is a time of new beginnings, planting seeds and exploring possibilities.
Yes.
So in the spring, you have to understand that things don't just pop up like that.
No.
And we want to talk a little bit about that. We want to take our time to explore it, because a lot of people miss their harvest because they were not faithful in spring.
Right.
Because as they planted, they thought, woo, I would have a tree. Talk to us about that.
All right. So as I said, we have seed time.
Seed time and harvest time, right?
So seed time is in the sowing process.
Right.
So sowing, and then said, you sow upon the water, God give the increase.
Right.
So it all but merged in one. So when you sow, now is a spring comes summer. You cannot certain things that comes alive.
Mm-hmm.
I think liveliness come in spring.
Mm-hmm.
If you look at the flowers,
renewal.
Yes, renewal, because when it was winter, things die.
Exactly.
In autumn, it get very bleaky. So when it comes to spring, whatever you can do, I think it gives us certain energy. Let me use the word energy.
A little momentum.
Momentum. That's what we call it, spring break.
Yeah.
Some schools, all over the world, we call it spring break. But you go on the beach and you enjoy yourself, because things are now blooming. The earth are now giving it what you plant, giving it away for you to enjoy. That's a bit of a spring. So whatever even your life, that's why many people married in June.
Okay. Right.
Because it means opportunity of grasping that moment of excitement, and that is what spring is all about.
But even in spring, it requires hope.
Yes.
And institutiveness.
Yes.
Right? Because sometimes when you're setting those foundations, there are some hiccups.
Yes.
But you have to make sure that you get those foundational pillars right.
Right.
Because, if you're building and you do not make sure that the foundation is right, in no time, depending on how you are attacked by the different issues of life, you will go under.
So as you begin, at the beginning you said season and time. So let us talk about time. Times are subjected to change.
Right.
Season can last for a while.
Right. Especially there is what we talk about Chronos time, which is chronological time.
Amen.
And then we talk about Kairos time, which is opportune moment. And I don't want to get too excited too early, but that is one of my favorite things when I came into Christianity, to understand that to everything there is a season, but when you're a Christian, you can defy the regular time.
You can,
because when everybody say no and that nothing is going to happen, we serve a God that says, watch me move.
You can have Christmas.
Oh God. And you know what somebody said? When he moves just like that.
You don't have to wait till December to enjoy your Christmas season.
In fact, on my program that I had on Sunday, the launch, I had season's greetings. And said, yes. And usually you say season's greetings in Christmas, but we choose to say season's greetings. Wherever this is going to find you, we are saying you are welcome.
Right.
You need to be acknowledged.
Right.
You need to know that there are people who are going to lift you up. And so as we move from that season of renewal and we are coming forth, we have a season of growth.
Accomplishment.
Purpose. So that's all in the summer now. But some of you have to work hard, tending to the goals, facing the challenges, the tests, the commitment, and requires steady effort to mature your plans. Summer is no joke.
And that is why I'm coming scripturally to you now. That's why Psalms 1 said, and we shall be like a tree.
Planted.
Bring forth our fruit in this season.
Yes.
So we have to be planted, what you said a while ago, to ensure that we see in the summer what is coming for us.
I must give this joke, to talk about planted. If you're not planted properly, you will wither away in the season. Yep. So I'm a flowers enthusiast, right? I love flowers, but I'm not going to tell you I have a clue of what I'm doing.
There's certain flowers you can't plant in summer in the sun.
But even so, you have to make sure you go deep so you can't go high. So I have a little area that I'm trying to bring life to. So I got a little piece of flower So I just did
What
two
type of
little.
flower was it?
I don't even know. It just looked pretty. So I just did a little fancy dig out, you know, and just stick it in. That's why, man, by the morning, instead of the plant standing upright, the plant backslide. The plant backslide. No, it is important that when we plant, we ensure depth.
Yes.
In the springs of our life, we have to make sure that we have depth.
So that's why the scripture says we shall be like a plant. You have to determine what type of plant.
And where you are planted.
Where you're planted.
Because I think where I planted the plant was too sandy.
Too sandy.
But when you're planted, you know, by the rivers, it shall be a tree that bring forth your fruits in its season.
An orchid cannot go in dirt.
Oh, God.
An orchid go between barks of coconut barks and stuff like that.
Exactly.
You know? It can't go deep.
So could it be that one of the reasons that you're not blossoming is that you're not planted at the right place?
And not getting your season.
And you're not coming into your season. Seasons matter. Planting in the right season matter.
Yes.
Even when you're doing investment. They will tell you, no, it's not a good time to buy this stock. Or no, it's an excellent time to buy this stock. You have to make sure that you're in sync to know when to move and when not to move in your season. So we look at the season of growth, which is summer, and then the season of autumn. And there's a direct reason why I'm going in this manner, starting with spring, summer, fall, and I'm going much more. So for autumn now, talk to us about autumn.
Things begin to drop off.
Oh, Lord.
And if you realize that a certain tree named Puyi,
the Puyi tree?
Yes, in autumn, it sheds its leaf. And somebody wonder, where is it going?
With some yellow flowers?
With some yellow flowers. It sheds its leaf. And then when it begin to bud, it's a beautiful thing. Like now, it begin to bring forth this sweet essence. And that's why you see the butterflies keep going and opening up in spring. But in autumn, in summer, it kind of struggle for a while because it's not used to it. So that poetry and some other trees, them know them season time for bring forth them fruit, them budding, and them attracts the butterflies, just like our life, our personal life.
When we're budding, we will attract people.
And then a time in our life when in autumn we just start to shed.
Yeah.
Some things just start to happen.
Right.
Things that we get darmed and sometimes bleaky. And so we have to know to determine how we survive.
Or you pivot.
Or we pivot during
or you remain rooted.
Season, yes. When I come a time when you're not every day going to get up in your life and feel that springing. Or that summer, you may have this autumn, you wonder, why am I going through this? And in that time, you just have to try, cling to God and be faithful in what you're doing. Continue doing what you're doing in your autumn season, because when it comes to winter, God.
So that is why you have to understand when it's time to sow, and then when it's time to reap, because it is what you sow in the spring of your life, in the summer of your life, that you have to draw from. You have to dig deep into that reservoir to bring forth what is it that you're going to need as survival.
You ever wonder why people spend so much in Christmas? It's because they try to save between November
and the next
October, November for Christmas.
Right. They join partner.
They join partner.
They do all kinds of stuff.
At December certain time because they're looking forward for the winter to spend to exhibit what they have sown. Yes.
So, and then after we move from fall, which is the autumn of our lives, when things are shedding, things are falling. And I interestingly mentioned the poetry. My producer is showing the poetry because the poetry has memories. And when I was at university, they used to say, if you don't start studying on the leaves, if you see the poetry falling, leaves falling, and you don't start studying, you're in big trouble because it's right in that. It used to be right at that semester before exam. So there are things in our life that speaks to how we need to shift in our seasons. And then there is winter, a dominant period of inner work, planning and recuperation, deep rest, because it's almost a time of introspection. You want to move, but you can't move because things are saying to you, listen, pause. People don't like that time, you know. Nobody likes winter.
And then that's the time where we do the opposite.
We don't go to church. We curse everybody.
And we do the opposite. Then for pause, we do the beyond, the shopping. We go crazy during winter. But I love winter when I travel though. It's like you have less persons to interact with.
Because everybody's going into their shutdown mode.
Yes.
But you know what? Philippians 4:11-13 says something to us. It says, Paul says, I've learned to be content, whatever the circumstance. I know that it is what is I need to be able to survive. How to be content. Talk to us, Dr. Hyman, about how to remain contented in season. So it's not that we give up life and we can't bother, but how do you remain focused, steadfast, unmovable, always abounding in the word of truth, which is the word of the Lord? How do you remain focused, looking unto God, who is the author and the finisher of your faith in a season of winter? Because in summer and spring,
you keep going.
You keep going. Hallelujah. You have a shout.
Yes.
You know, how do you remain focused in the winters of life?
Let me bring COVID as an example.
Let me bring COVID.
COVID as an example. Remember when everybody has to shut down? Within that shutdown period of your life, that's a time when you have to know your God. Draw for the word. Learn to depend on him. And be confident in whatever you do, as the scripture said. I can say this from my perspective, but probably others don't know because probably not at a place. But I believe when you come at a place where you have a good communication and a covenant with God, even if you don't get up this morning and you find yourself without something, you have to learn that to be content. I said, I can do this through Christ who strengthened me. I can know to turn my resource into a restoration period. You have to just navigate again your spiritual self over the natural to dominate that part of the contentment. Because if you don't, you'll find yourself a mental distress or something going on that is not of God within your life. And you know, when you spoke to me this morning, I look at season of growth and preparation and waiting and testing and winter, draw for restoration, because
see it as a time when you replenish. Right.
Draw for restoration, where you have gone to the whole entire year. You can evaluate yourself and say, I have not accomplished this, I have accomplished. I'm going to set this up. Coming January, you start setting new goals.
You work with the KPIs.
Yes, and so you can use those seasons when you're shut in, when you're shut down, both spiritual, physically, to depend on the strength of God, you know, and get persons in your circle to where.
Right. Because sometimes you do need at least a pep up.
Yes,
pep up. I mean, I want us to understand that even as we talk about physical seasons, we also have relational seasons, right? And you're a marriage counselor, I am a marriage counselor as well, and we interact with people, and there are persons on the platform as we speak. There are relational seasons. There is time when you find this young man and, you know, everything is going good. Every single thing. I mean, you're lucky you find a knight in shining armor, right? And then you go through that little topsy-turvy there. And then there are times, even that same relationship with the same knight in shining armor, where it seems that the armor is always coming at you.
I always say this, is going to be a joke, that I believe men have their season of. We women, you said, we women go to our menopause and stuff like that. Andropause. And when that season comes for them, it's like, it's worse than when we women, because you can't determine, you have to know your spot. But when that season comes, they're so miserable, they're frustrated, and it's easier to calm a woman when she's going through a season like that than to calm a man. I believe so, if I may be right to say so. But
I think because part of it too, Dr. Hyman, is that women will speak. They'll have a girlfriend, they will share. But a lot of times the men, even though they're emotional, but they're not oftentimes very expressive to someone who can assist them. And I want to say publicly on Tip and Chat here today that everybody needs a somebody.
Everybody needs
When Jesus was going through the winters of his journey to the cross,
to talk,
he asked the disciples to tarry with him. And then he came back and he found them sleeping. And he said to them, could you not tarry with me? And so nobody has to feel that if I reach out for assistance, if I reach out for counseling, if I reach out to help, you know, I'm a loser, I'm a winner. Part of surviving your season is stop hating yourself.
Stop and just loving yourself.
Things happened. So many people mindlessly say they hate to drive in traffic, to do so many things that they have to do. But we have to expect that life happens. Now we have this
Things
new term.
happen.
We said we're life in.
Well,
You know?
yeah, things happen. And if we reach a place where we're not seeing that, then we are going to walk as failures. But things happen. Season come in our life. You all right. So example, you have this bright and shiny armor, you have a good life going for the last 3 months, and all of a sudden, boop, something just happens. You say, why did I do that? Where did I go here? And you start to play the blame game. Where did I go wrong?
Why did I get married? And we are part 1 and part 2. And I'm not talking about the show. I'm just talking about
the reality,
episodes,
the reality,
lives,
the reality of life. So we go through seasons, relationship seasons.
Right.
Yes.
One of the things that we wanted to touch on, Dr. Hyman, is that as we're closing off that official part of relationship, was that as we talk about seasons and life, if you have loved and you have lost, right, whatever the means, is it okay to re-engage in relationships again?
Yes.
How safe is it?
Safe, because you're learning to trust yourself and trust somebody again. Trust someone again. I find it strange that when women would say, hell no, I am not going to go in a relationship again. I remember saying to you the other day, I was in a devastating relationship years ago, and I did say, I am not going there again. But the love of my heart and the love that God had placed in my heart would not allow me. I tried it, I tried for about 11 years to sustain and abstain then from not doing it. But God created someone can know that we couldn't be. He knows us. And sometimes we walk in denial because of a friend under wrong influence.
And just because of fear.
And fear and wrong influence. Because God said, nobody get married again because it happened. No, and then you are here going to your bed. Oh Lord, I'm lonely. Oh God, I need a man. And then, and I said,
No, and I think it's some people are stuck in their seasons because of their confession. They're stuck in their seasons because of their confession. And you're watching right now.
And their guilt.
So you're stuck in your season because of your guilt, your confession.
And fear. And humility. And
you feel that if you go out there again.
To step out
of your winter, to start a new spring. You're telling yourself that you're going to be hurt again. But it's okay to fear.
It's okay.
It's okay to feel fearful. Because what you're going to do as you trust God, is you're going to build resilience.
But you're not going to marry the same person anymore.
Exactly.
Unless you're looking for.
But I guess for some people that sometimes they can't see beyond the
past.
Yeah, and they can't see beyond the person that is trying to make an inroad.
When God is creating a new season for you. Right. Because as I said, the season that you may have a bad season with a past relationship. But dear God, let's look at Ruth.
Right.
Ruth and Naomi and they were married and having husbands and stuff like that. What's her name? Oprah. She went back because she decided to say, hey, she's not going to challenge the future. But Ruth said to them, I ain't going to leave you because where there's life, there must be hope. And she clinged and she was in obedience with Naomi that she was able to walk in a fresh, I would say better season. Better season. She married to Boaz.
And Boaz begot Obed begot David begot.
She get a lineage of inheritance and wealth. And sometimes as women or basically men, we are blocking ourselves from walking into our season because, as I said, fear and stuff like that. So I would say to them, hey, challenge it. And don't let nobody tell because they went to a bad season, you're going to go through. There are some mothers who say, no, but I'm not again, I'm a daughter, no, but I'm not give a friend because of bad. Not everybody out there is bad.
Right. I just wanted to say something. As we were saying that, we said Obed begot Jesse, Jesse begot David, and Jesus from the royal line of David.
Yes.
I want to say this to a viewer. Every time I think about that story and how powerful it is, remember Ruth was a Moabitess.
She was a Moabitess.
Naomi was a Christian from Bethlehem, which is the breadbasket of Judah. Now watch this. I always said to myself that when Naomi was in the spring of her life, she must have been reflecting the God of the spring.
Yes.
In such a way that in the winter of her life, when she's moving, she had reflected God in such a profound way that this woman who is an heathen could tap into what she saw and say, listen, I want your people to be my people. And your God, my God.
I must have seen something.
She must have seen something
within that.
The journey is important.
Yes.
But it is what influenced her so much
Stay with her.
that she was willing to go to the unknown.
Ah.
And ladies and gentlemen, you are watching Sip and Chat this afternoon, not by chance.
Yes.
Not by chance. God is saying to you, you need to step out. You cannot know what lies beyond if you stay in the caves of fear. You have to step out. There are opportunities out there. One failure and a failure.
No.
Right? Three drops are not the end of the world.
No, get up, man.
Get up. And sometimes when you get up with a little dirt, a little discomfort. But brush off yourself.
Walk in your season, man.
Walk in your season. Confess your season. And I mean, we're going to get deeper into this thing. And we want to know, just like how Ruth was able to get up, pull herself together, and walk back to Bethlehem. And this is it. I always find this interesting, Dr. Ivan. When Naomi is going back with her, right? Naomi, people begin to greet her, which is not usually the case, right?
Right.
They're naysayers. But interestingly, in this story, she's going back and the people are calling her by her name, Naomi, which means sweet.
Sweet, yes.
Now, every one of us suffer from this sometimes. I can confess that I suffer from this. She's going back, the people are embracing her, but she still has that little doubt and that little hurt.
Don't call me bitter man. I was like, come on, girlfriend.
Get up.
People are seeing what the purpose in you. People are seeing what you used to be. People are seeing the greatness in you. And here you walking now, less of yourself.
Isn't it so powerful when somebody can see beyond our tears, beyond our winter, beyond our autumn, and say, get up from where you are. This is your season and you're going to smile again. Ladies and gentlemen, these times when we're having these discussions, the time moves so fast. But I really want to remind somebody that God in his very order had structure related to season. He said there's seed time and there's harvest. And then the wisest man, Solomon, came back and he punctuated by saying in the book of Ecclesiastes that for everything there is a season. Lady Iman, we want to encourage somebody today.
Yes.
Just one line.
Just walk in your season.
It doesn't matter what it is. There's somebody greater who's still able to lead you through those tunnels of life, regardless of what season you're going through. And you know he's more than able and he will never leave you nor forsake you. Until next time, walk in your blessed season. Thank you.
Seasons everywhere, and I feel blessings in the air. Those seeds that you've sown, it's time to come into your own seasons. Walk to your season. I know that you invested a lot. The return has been slow. Sometimes you're throwing up your hand and say, I give up. Can't take this anymore. But I hear the Spirit say that it's your time. Your season. Seasons everywhere. Anybody feel blessings in the air? Those seeds that you sow, it's time to come into your season. Walk to your season.